It's running.
Okay, I'm Kaitlyn. Hi. So imagine you could, I told you you can never taste your favorite food again. Like picture it, you can't eat pasta, pizza, cake, anything that kind of contains bread. So imagine how different your life would be if you had to, every time you went out to eat, you had to ask for nutritional information about what's in the food so you could eat it. An estimated 1 in 141 Americans are diagnosed with celiac disease, and 83% of them are either undiagnosed or misdiagnosed. And after being diagnosed with a gluten intolerance, which is also celiac disease, at age 17, I began to acquire my own knowledge and experience about this disease. So I took this research opportunity to learn more and also to inform you guys, since a lot of Americans don't even know what it is, let alone any of you guys who have it have no idea. So celiac disease is an illness that affects many people every day. However, many of these people are undiagnosed and don't even know why they're suffering if they feel any symptoms. Many Americans are unaware of this serious condition. And according to the National Foundation for Celiac Awareness, celiac disease is an autoimmune digestive disease that damages the villi in your small intestine, and it interferes with the absorption of nutrients that your body needs from the food you eat. And this damage occurs due to immune reaction from the consumption of a protein found in wheat, barley, and rye called gluten. The Center for Celiac Research and Division of Pediatric Gastroenterology, which is you go for your stomach, and nutrition, states that the presence of gluten leads to self-perpetuating membrane damage, but whereas the elimination of gluten altogether will result in a full recovery and will be better. The effects of the disease vary with the age of the patient and the duration and the extent of the disease. In addition to the classical forms I'm going to be talking about, there's a variety of other forms that they have found. And this is why diagnosis is so hard in patients, and why it's mostly misread. So now that we know what celiac disease is, we'll talk about the causes and the diagnosis of it. We wonder as patients what we do to cause sickness. But sometimes the exact cause of a disease is not known, and that's the case in celiac disease. Sometimes celiac disease is triggered by a virus, or after a major surgery, or if you're going under a lot of stress. This disease is genetically based, so you're 5 to 10% more common to occur in those who have a family history of it. But just because you're at a higher risk of it does not mean you're definitely going to have it. But you should definitely get it checked out because they can do tests to see if you have that gene. Recognizing celiac disease can be very difficult because the symptoms are very similar to other diseases, such as irritable bowel disease, intestinal infections, and chronic fatigue syndrome. So before being tested, a patient is recommended to keep eating gluten, even if it does bother their stomach or they have symptoms of it, because when they do blood tests, which is how you diagnose and check if you have it, you need to have the gluten in your body, because the gluten, people who eat the gluten that have this issue have higher levels of certain autoantibodies. And these autoantibodies are proteins that react against the body's own cells or tissues. And also an intestinal biopsy can be checked for if the villi in your small intestine is damaged. Okay, so what symptoms should we look for when diagnosing this disease? Celiac disease has many different causes that will trigger illness to wreak havoc in someone's body. This intestinal damage can cause minor problems like weight loss, bloating, stomach pain, fatigue, skin rashes, and diarrhea, but if not treated correctly, these problems can get much worse. Eventually your brain, nervous system, bones, liver, and other organs can become deprived of all the vital nourishment it needs. In children, according to the Mayo Clinic, malabsorption can negatively affect growth and development in the body. So if kids have celiac disease and they're not absorbing the right nutrition, then their growth is going to be stunted. And according to the gluten intolerance group, celiac disease can cause major damage to the small intestine, where iron, folate, and vitamin B12 are absorbed. So on average, 4% of people diagnosed with celiac disease will suffer from anemia, which results from iron deficiency and loss of bone density from not absorbing enough nutrition. And people with celiac disease may have no symptoms, but later develop complications over time, and you'll never know. That's why it's so hard to diagnose. Long-term complications include malnutrition, which can lead to anemia. You can have a miscarriage. You can develop liver disease and also cancers of the intestine. The National Digestive Diseases Information Clearinghouse states that celiac disease symptoms widely vary because it affects everyone differently. There are 3 different factors, though, that play a role in when and how celiac disease appears, such as the length of time a person was breastfed, the age a person started eating gluten-containing foods, and how much gluten one consumes. The cause of the disease are not usually preventable, however. In order to manage the sickness, one has no other choice but to change their diet. When treating this disease, the patient must treat the illness very seriously and cautiously. Most people won't think it's a big deal, but in the long run, it could really damage your body. So, a lifelong gluten-free diet is essential it's only real treatment for full recovery. Patients should refer to a dietitian who will help you with changing and coping to a new diet. Despite the many restrictions, people with celiac disease can still enjoy a low-balanced diet. There are many gluten-free products made with potato, rice, and soybean flour instead of the wheat, rye, and barley. This diet requires a lot of attention, and the patient and their family members should be well educated about this illness. So to sum up what we learned today, celiac disease is an incurable illness that wreaks havoc on the body with a wide variety of symptoms. The causes are believed to be stress, viral, allergic, or hereditary. And also experts say that those diagnosed with the illness must eliminate gluten from their diets completely. With celiac disease being a permanent disease, people need to learn the symptoms of the illness and be educated about the causes that can create chaos. If diagnosed with this illness, a gluten-free diet is crucial. But thanks to the awareness of celiac disease, many companies are now making products and delicious foods that are gluten-free. So now imagine knowing you can never eat the one way you used to, but now more companies are allowing you to eat what you love. There's pastas and pizzas and everything you can imagine that's gluten-free. We usually have them in health markets.